Okay, here we go. Part two on the power of A Course in Miracles for just getting to a point of joy. It's so much joy. It's like you're in Holy Communion, you're in the celebration, and everyone in this world doesn't believe it. Most people, in the reflections in my mind. So it's yours if you want it, if you're determined to follow A Course in Miracles, but it's going to take a lot of courage. And the voice. Okay, what's that voice? Oh my gosh, the ego hates that voice. It's going to avoid it, it's going to make excuses for it, not to hear it, that you can't hear it. Don't believe anyone that you can't hear it, first of all. What you want is to develop the discernment. You have to really want to hear it. And Jesus basically tells you you're going to hear that voice as well as you want to. I look, I started hearing it when I was coaching in prison, and it started teaching me. And I didn't want to be talking to Jesus or God, but there was something, and I didn't know that was Jesus or God, but there was something about it. It was very profound in what I was learning. And so you can have that too. Everyone can have that. And anyone tells you that you can't hear it or you can't develop, it's going to take you time to develop the clarity that Helen had. But you have to. It's a must. You have to be able to hear it that clear because you need it coaching you all day long, 24/7. It's to help you see where you're investing in hell and you can't tell. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm getting to be a Nazi because I'm asking it, do I take a cookie? And I'm asking it everything. And I thought, is that too much? But I realized as your mind purifies, first it's kind of hard because there's so much noise. But over time, you'll see that it's going to, you don't know where you're invested in the ego. And you need that voice to point you in the direction away from the ego. So every time you're following, you're saying, I want to maximize miracles. So you have to hear it in order to follow, and it is a voice. It speaks to you in other ways through symbols, but the voice gives you the immediacy. Is this, do I do this? And it's just like chapter 30. You have to do everything. You have to be determined to do whatever that voice tells you and overcome the ego is going to tell you, okay, you're on your way to hell if you follow that voice. And eventually, it's song. It's a song. You start to see by following, it's like, oh my God, that is me referring back constantly to my infinite nature, all that God gave me. But at first the ego goes, you try to hear it and there's all this noise, but eventually you'll just see, oh my God, it's a reminder of infinite within you, the infinite song of God singing and singing and singing. And then so you have to overcome the resistance to hearing the voice and all the people that tell you can't hear it and all these doubt thoughts. And you can hear it, but you have to make that a priority. This is my priority, to hear this voice and follow this voice, and nothing's more important than this voice. And then when I realized that I'm not getting out of this without that voice, without him, without Jesus to help me, there's a humility that comes in, and there's the happy learner that comes in because you want him to tell you, okay, show me this and show me this and show me that. And there's so much purification. There are 450 of these things at least listed in A Course in Miracles. You believes that you got to clear from your mind, and the ego is going to make it so that it takes you months or years on each one of those to forgive it. Whereas if you have that voice coaching you, it's going to get you right in there to what you need to see. It's going to coach you. Here's how you release that. At least that's what he did for me. That's what he's doing for those that are really listening to him and joining the light circle and learning. Okay, coach me, Jesus. And you call to him, he is going to come in and he's going to coach you. And to really, that's your voice for that's the infinite, not infinite Google. Everybody hates when I say that, but it's just, you're referring back every time you go to that voice, you're referring back to infinite reference instead of, okay, here's my little me reference. You're just going, And so it can show you, that infinite shows you where you're trying to be a me, and you have to learn to trust it. It's the fastest way. There's lots of way to get to God, but when you have an infinite reference going, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, and you're willing, and you're going, I am not tolerating. If he shows you something, I got to the point where if he would show me something, it's like, okay, I'm in with you. I will not tolerate that in my mind. You have to learn to really say no to those things. I'm getting a miracle, and you be determined to get the miracles you deserve. If he shows you something, if he sends you on a mission, go. The ego's gonna scream, and who cares? Let it scream. You're infinite. It's this little noise puppet thing. So, and then if it's not that, if it's some, and then eventually, your mind, it's just like a rocket. You're going to be celebrating. So don't let anybody tell you, you can't do it in this lifetime, but you have to be very committed. If you want the fastest way through, you got to follow everything. You got to do everything the Course said, no exceptions. It is, I'm telling you, it is a play-by-play book for you to get to hear that voice. Once you hear that voice, then you got to trust it enough to follow that voice. And once you follow it, you're going to team up with your infinite nature to go, okay, let's see what's true. And then it'll take a while, It feels like hell in the middle because you don't see your power. This is why you have a horrific awakening experience, not because God wants you to have that. It's because you don't see your strength accept a miracle and say no to that. And a lot of beings don't follow, so then they're going to have a horrific spiritual awakening. So if you want the easiest spiritual awakening, most reliable, the fastest, there goes Lencio back there, fastest spiritual awakening, then you're going to get your relationship with that voice. It's going to lead you more gently out. It's going to tell you and interpret everything for you. So you can experience infinite. Infinite. It just sings within you forever. You deserve that. Why wouldn't you have that? So much love. Namaste.